Hello, this is my Edse 307 Virtual Professional Development session. In this virtual session, I will talk about the importance of pre-activities in aiding student comprehension during and post-lesson. I will more specifically give examples of pre-activities that can support comprehension regarding reading and describe how they could be used within a lesson for a subject content area. As we learn in our course content, comprehension of something is the understanding of information that involves interpretation and sense-making. We often associate comprehension with reading, listening, and viewing. Today, I am going to focus on talking about supporting reading, comprehension, and content areas focusing on using pre-learning activities in classes. As teachers, the students we will encounter will come from diverse backgrounds. Many will be English language learners, ELLs, students with reading and writing deficits. Many students will have cultural backgrounds that limits them to understanding the course curriculum. According to research-based recommendations for instruction and academic interventions, by the middle school years, ELLs rarely need instruction in basic conversational English, but they lack the academic English vocabulary to support learning from texts. Students are expected to come in with prior knowledge, but it is often not possible due to the diverse student backgrounds. Since many facets of language are wrapped up in the notion of academic language, oftentimes this can be both difficult for the students and teachers to learn and to teach. Therefore, as teachers, we must be aware of these factors that hinder comprehension for students. As teachers, we need to bridge student understanding, support students when they encounter barriers to learning. Some of the most common barriers to learning includes academic vocabulary, subject matter that is unfamiliar and cognitively demanding, subject matter that is context-reduced as it is about aspects of the world that are not physically present in the classroom, language delivery such as how fast or slow someone talks, or the volume or intonation of the delivery. Oftentimes, before a lesson, it is helpful for students to be exposed to the lesson before attending the session. Exposure can involve homework from the lesson prior, or a brief look ahead at the lesson that is to be learned. These pre-activities help students comprehend materials much better if exposed to them beforehand in an understandable way. Some pre-activities can include reading a summary of the textbook chapter, watching a short screencast of the lesson to be taught, reading bullet points of the main themes of what it is to be learned, critically looking at an image or political cartoon before class starts. These activities expose students to the lesson prior to the lesson being taught. For example, in a biology class on the unit of cells, a pre-activity will be to give students a handout with the technical vocabulary that will be emphasized and used for the lesson. The vocab sheet will have diagrams and visual aids as well as definitions for students to look at before the lesson. This is called a bottom-up comprehension for student understanding. Here's an example. It is helpful in that students will be exposed to these unfamiliar terminology and be reinforced before the lesson. The use of visual aid on the definition page will aid ELL students as well as help them make sense of the terminologies. Furthermore, pictures and diagrams help students from different backgrounds comprehend better, as well as pictures are often universal. Another example of a pre-activity is a short screencast of the summary of the lesson learned previously. This activity activates student prior knowledge, helping students recall and think about what they have learned previously, and bridges student into the current lesson. For ELL learners, this is especially helpful as it refreshes content and helps student comprehension by reiterating familiar concepts. There are many ways for teachers to activate student learning prior to the lesson by considering pre-lesson activities. As we have looked at some examples, there are much more that can be considered to help student comprehension. Teachers are responsible for their classroom and to meet the diverse needs of the students, and are challenged continuously to address cultural differences in classrooms, aid ELL learners, and reinvent new strategies to help students